You don't just take that problem to solve. You expected to sit down and now do an analysis of the impact of that change on the project. The impact of the change. First of all, do your analysis of the impact of the change on the project. So it is that report that you now take to the change control board or your sponsor. So what this means is change cannot just happen arbitrarily. As long as something has been signed off as a project baseline, it cannot change without the approval of the organs. So the process of reviewing all change requests. So if something needs to be changed, it's not all the time that change requests have to come from the top. Change requests can come from any stakeholder. You understand? There is no automatic collect, accept, automatic reject. In fact, in some cases, some change requests might not have to get to the top. Because, for example, if a change request is coming on ground now, and you realize that you can accommodate it without some baselines, without the baselines changing. For example, part of the baseline is first baseline, your budget. Part of you have your schedule baseline when you want to finish. It's possible that you might be able to accommodate something without affecting your costs, without affecting your scope, without affecting all those things. You can go ahead. But whatever would affect a pre-signed off baseline of the project has to be approved by higher authorities. So that process of reviewing change requests, either approving or rejecting those changes, and managing the change to deliverables, to operational assets, to project documents, to project management plan, and then communicating the disposition to all of this. That process is called perform integrated change control. So yeah, integrated change control deals with analysis of all the knowledge areas impacted when one knowledge area encounters a change request. It can include any of the following as appropriate: determining that the changes have occurred or they need to occur. Influencing change requests so that the only needed changes should occur. It's not all changes that people want that you have to do. For example, you want to construct road. The mama that is selling plantain beside the road is a stakeholder. Because if you do that road, you chase away from it. But don't forget, somebody who is impacted, affected, somebody who affects, or perceived to be affected. You understand? So, of course, somebody who is selling by the road is affected by a road construction project. And so she walks up to you and says, please, this is your road, change direction. Does that mean I'm going to take that change? I don't complicate. So what this means is that as your role, part of your role as a project manager is not that whatever request just comes to you, just push it up straight immediately like that. You should also try to see, okay, do some analysis yourself. You understand? So you are influencing change requests so that only needed changes will occur. Not just that anything that just comes, you want to start implementing all the time. So the process is also part of reviewing and approving change requests. And then monitoring and adjusting baselines as needed. So like I told you, you can't change baseline on your own. It has to come from the sponsor. So implementing the needed corrective actions and preventive actions, and then communicating status of the project regarding implemented changes. So, for example, as stated earlier, there are a number of knowledge areas impacted here. Problems in this area could result in undocumented or unapproved changes on the project that still needs to achieve project objectives. Problems will also come from one area being impacted and addressed, and other impacted areas not discovered or addressed appropriately. That's one of the reasons why when you're a professional project manager, there is a higher probability that project succeed than somebody who is not. Because as a professional project manager, you want to do an exhaustive study of the impact of a particular change in one area on all the other areas. Now imagine, because something is changing, you're only considering the impact on time and cost. You didn't consider the impact on schedule. You didn't consider the impact on risk. You didn't consider the impact on resources. automatically what it means is you're not doing your change control very well. You have to ensure that each time something is changing, you are looking at the impacts across them. So this is an example of a workflow. So let's start from here. Somebody has asked you for a change on something. You define the change, as you get some clarity around the change. You analyze the impact of that change on all the other areas. So you evaluate the change request. Not you this time now. You submit the change request to the body who evaluates it. You understand? And then they either approve or they reject. If they reject it, go and write it inside your. If don't forget that once the change request comes, we'll log it that a change request has come. So even your change request has a login. You understand? Change request also have a login. So even if it is rejected, you still log it. That this change that I wrote on this date, update the status that's rejected. If it is accepted, what comes out of an accepted change request? Approved change request. An approved change request becomes an input into direct and wide get go. I'm forgetting this thing so. If the change request is rejected, go and log it. If the change request is accepted, you schedule it. Schedule it for what? For implementation. You understand? So if at the end of the day you are really not able to schedule it, still log that fact that you are not able to schedule it. You understand? Then if you are able to schedule it, revise your project plan. Don't forget. You don't just rush into execution. It goes back to your planning. You understand? So you integrate it with the plan, you deliver the project. That's it. So this is the change control process. So now our friends are here, our ITTOs. So to perform this, what do we need? Our plan. Yes, we need our plan. Our performance reports. Don't forget that it is the report that Project Manager is writing, coming to tell the board that this change has come. Should you approve or should you reject? This is what this is for. Then this change request itself is what this work of mass report is going to support. You understand? This cannot this will not be in isolation. This is supporting this. And then you have your EEF and then you have your OPS. And then what comes out of here is either approved or rejected change. And then you have your project management. So there's another thing we need to explain, and it's called configuration management. Configuration management is the process, the processes and the procedures to support integration change control. Its prime purpose is to manage and control product configuration. Please, don't let us get confused. We are talking of product configuration now. So, you also need to manage your product configurations. So, it ensures that the system integrity is maintained when changes are made to individual configuration items, and that a full audit chain of all changes is maintained. So, configuration control relates not just to project products, but to all controlled items. Beautiful. All the things you are using on the project, you need to manage your configuration very well. Let me give you an example. You have a project to do sensitization in a particular area. As at the first meeting that you drafted your plan, you wrote there that this is the plan. You distributed the plan to 70 team members. By the second meeting, 40 out of the 70 team members were present. You revised that plan. So the 40 of you will have a version of the plan. The remaining 30 still have the old version of the plan. By a third meeting, 20 out of the 40 who came before are present. Then 15 out of the 30 who didn't come for the second meeting are present. And then you revise the plan again. You now have a third version of the plan. So now you'll be having some people who are still with version 1, some people with version 2, some people with version 3. That is why configuration management is very key. In document workflow, they call it divisioning. You should be very, very smart before you handle your divisioning. So here, even your project products, apart from your project products itself, all of the documents you are using, like your plans, your designs, your product specification, your test specification, all of those things you have to manage your configuration very well. You can imagine how bad it will be for you to be working with a team on a project and you have different versions of deliverables. How terrible would that be? And the version that is with you says it will be painted red. The version with you says it will be painted yellow. The version with you, the recent version, says don't even paint at all. And they were all gotten from the authentic source. But because you are not aware of the newer version, you are not aware of the newer version. So, and don't forget that in a big project, things will be moving, changing very often. That is why you also, as part of your integrated change control, in managing changes to the project, you also need to do configuration management for the documents, plans, designs, all of those things, and product specific configuration items for all what you are doing. You also want to keep track of it. You are in the office, you are written a document right there, version 1.0, written by, last edited. You understand? So even if I see two documents, the same title, the same author, one says version 1.0, one says version 1.1, I know what it means. Last edited on, it makes it clear to me. So, your change control board is responsible for reviewing and analyzing change requests in accordance with your management plan. It may include the sponsor, it may include the project manager, it may include functional managers, it may include technical team members, whoever has been designated by the sponsor, and those ones who do the change control. Now, look at this scenario. Let's consider a situation whereby you are working on some work packages. And then you are looking at the work breakdown structure dictionary. Keep them, I will discuss them. Come back to all of them. For acceptance criteria, you have completed development of the deliverable and you have sent it to the quality control. Now, you are surprised to see that the quality control team rejected the deliverable, stating that it did not meet acceptance criteria. But you are confused. Why you are confused? You now approach the member of the quality control team and he shows you the work breakdown dictionary, where acceptance criteria for the deliverables are different. So, the thorough analysis of the situation concludes that you were using the old version of the work breakdown structure dictionary. To avoid such issues in the future, you need a complete system called the configuration management system. The purpose of configuration management plan is to describe how configuration management will be conducted throughout project lifecycle. So, without a documented configuration management plan, it is likely that your configuration items may be missed, may be incomplete, or unnecessary work is done because of lack of version or document control. While a configuration management plan is important for all projects, it is especially so for software and IT. Because are writing code, so there are lots of like Git. Some of us have heard of GitHub. So there are lots of things that they have done now to see how you can actually use to manage configuration, to manage version in your projects. Change requests versus approved changes. One key item you should be familiar with for the challenging situational example is the subtle difference between requested changes and approved changes. It is key to know the difference between the two of them. Requested change is the request that is just coming. That's not been sent. That's not been approved. That's not been sent to It has not even been analyzed by the project team. Complex of being sent to the change control board for approval. It is what has left the change control system. Approved changes are those that have gone through the change control system and they've been approved. And the moment they are approved, they are now part of the project with any impact changes potentially. They are now part of the project. They are now part of the project with any impact changes potentially. With any impact, the changes potentially had now affect